All right, so I wanted to touch on a little bit of the details and aspects around head movement. Some fighters do a great job with head movement, some fighters do a poor job with head movement, and I think some of these elements I'm going to touch on kind of focuses on the good elements of head movement. So, you know, what you want to think about when you're moving your head, first of all, just kind of face you guys, is that I still want to maintain some position that is athletic and within my hips. So I never really want to take my head too far over my hips on one side, too far over my hips on the other side, too far forward, or too far back. So I'll touch on that, right? And we'll start with slips, right? If I'm slipping a long jab, I want to make sure that I'm slipping just enough, just to get outside. It's going to maximize the amount of time that I have to come back with my counters, and it's also going to make sure that I'm maintaining my athletic base, right? My head is within my hips, right? I'm nice and solid right here as I slip. Same thing as I'm slipping the cross. I want to try to avoid getting too far over myself. I'm not in a great position. You know, we touched on a video talking about the mechanics of our body position and keeping an athletic base. And the minute that my head kind of gets so far over my hip that I can no longer do that, I'm in a bad spot both offensively and defensively. So again, if I'm slipping the cross, I want to do just enough just to get outside that cross. Now I'm in a great athletic stance. I can hit the body, I can change levels for a takedown. You have so many options there while you're maintaining this athletic base. On these rolls, right? I want to make sure if I'm rolling a left hook, that I'm keeping my upper body in good position, right? My chin and my neck is strong and secure. I'm in that same position that I would deadlift from, that I would squat from. I'm never gonna roll and let my head kind of dip down, where I'm over my hips now. You know, if Alon throws a knee or an uppercut, I'm in a bad position defensively. I've lost that athletic base by going too far over my hips. Same thing if it's an overhand or a rear hook, right? As I roll, I want to make sure that I'm kind of drawing the letter U with my head, and I'm in a good athletic position with my upper body. I don't want to go and take my head over this way. I'm just on balance. I'm over my hips too much. So we went slips, we went rolls. Now let's talk about the pulls, right? If Alon throws a hook or a jab or whatever he throws, I'm gonna pull it. I wanna make sure that my rear foot, I have enough distance that when I pull back, I'm not overextending myself over that rear leg. So that can mean one of two things. Either I just pull back slightly, or if I wanna pull back a little bit more, I drop my rear foot back so that I'm still within my hips and a good athletic base, right? I don't wanna pull if it's a right hook or an overhand this time. I don't want to pull and be so far over my position here that if Alon follows up, I'm in a bad position again, right? Outside of our athletic base, there's always danger there. So when you're slipping, when you're rolling, when you're pulling, these are all movements where you still want to maintain your athletic base so that the counters are there as you're looking to make your opponent pay for a missed shot. Oops.